Hey, Tatra, look at this. Tatra, look.
Very funny. Very, very funny.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look at you. Well, so kids, I'm going to start the story now, and this is Amertat. I'm
sorry, Tata, but I can't really hear you.
I'm your wandering storyteller. So you guys turn your sound down a little bit. Peter, can you turn their sound down a little bit? Okay, thank you all. So today's story is all about kids, and they're kids that are at home, and they're kids that are at home because there's this virus thing happening, and people are supposed to be out, not supposed to be out and around much. So there's no school, and kids are home all the time. You guys know about that? Yeah, you do. And so this story is called The Abandoned Caboose. The Abandoned Caboose. You guys know what a caboose is? No, you don't know what a caboose is? How about it, Finley? You know what a caboose is?
A caboose is something on the end of a train.
That's right. The caboose is the car at the end of the train. And this is a story about two kids named Fred and Fran. And they lived in a house, and they were stuck in the house all day long because they couldn't go out. It's not like you guys. You guys can go out and run and do your bicycles, go to the park. But in this particular place where they lived, they made everybody stay inside all day long, unless they had a yard out back. But these kids had no yard. They just had their house. They were in an apartment. It was a high-rise apartment. And they couldn't go out at all. They could only go back and forth to the market to buy food. That was it. So they were playing all the time with their toys, their new toys, their old toys, all of their toys. But there were some toys that they never played with. Do you guys have any toys at home that you never play with? They're just sitting around somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet you do. Well, they had this big box of toys. You can see it over there, right? And
yes,
there are lots of toys in there they played with. But at the bottom of that bag of toys, there was a caboose, a little tiny tail part of the train. And it was so lonely. It was so sad. I mean, they played with all the other toys, but they never played with me. Why? And so it was just sitting there so sad. I mean, there was this shiny, beautiful engine for the train, and the little boy Freddie always liked to play with the engine, you know. He even made a nice little track on the ground, and the train would go like this. But no caboose. The caboose was stuck at the bottom of the box of toys.
Tata,
And there was one other toy in there they never played with.
Tata?
Just hold on. I can't hear you, Finley. I'm telling my story right now, okay? So hold your questions to the end. So there was this little teeny weeny tiger. Not a big one. Like you can see, the teddy bear here is pretty big, right? But this little tiger was so small, it was like a little plastic tiger, was stuck in the bottom of the toy box. And the tiger had the same problem, you know, they never play with me. They play with all the teddy bears and the doggies and everything, and the blocks and the buses and the trains and the helicopters, but they don't ever play So the caboose and the tiger became really good friends, right? Because they played together. Nobody else would play with them.
What is that?
Well, one day Fred and Fran got really tired of all their toys, and they picked up that basket. You see that big basket over here, right? They picked up that big basket of toys, and they emptied it out all on the floor, so that there were all the toys there. Hey, Fran, look what I found. There's this little caboose with a train. Let's play with it. And can you imagine how happy the caboose was? Yeah, he was so happy. And Fred was very careful, and he hooked up the caboose to the engine. And he let it, turned on the engine, and started going, woo, 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 woo. And then Fran said, oh, look, I found this little tiger, little teeny tiger. Let's put the tiger on top of the train. Fred said, well, you better be careful. I'm worried that the tiger will fall off. I mean, tigers aren't used to going on trains. Oh, well, come on, let's just try it, said Fran. And she took the tiger and put it on the top of the roof of the caboose. And then they took it off and went, oh, the tiger's falling off. Oh, the tiger fell off. The tiger was so hurt. Can't imagine. Can you imagine falling off of a speeding train if you're a tiger or a little girl, a little boy? It would hurt you, right? And so Fran picked up the tiger so gently and she kissed it. And at the same time, Fred picked up the caboose and held it to his heart because he loved to see the little caboose. And then something magic happened. Because as he was holding the train next to him, and as she was kissing the tiger, they started to move and to grow and become bigger. The caboose was ready for a trip. The caboose and the engine grew to a full size, and they started going, and they got off of the track, but they kept going. And the tiger got to be like the size of a little teeny, like a size of a little, like one of the big teddy bear size, and he jumped onto the top of the caboose this time, and he stood up there holding his paws in there, and the train started to head toward the mirror. There was a big, beautiful mirror in the room with them. And Fred said, come on, let's follow the train. It looks like the train's alive. It looks like the train's gonna take us somewhere. Come on, guys, let's go see where they're going. And the train, with the tiger on the top, started heading right toward the mirror. And you know, usually a mirror shows a reflection, right? When you see a mirror, and you look in the mirror, you see yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, probably you brush your hair, right, Finley? And Tantra, you brush your hair, use a mirror, right? And I don't know, Isaac, if you, when you brush your teeth in the morning, if you look in the mirror, I don't know, you do, yeah, right? So this time, the train was heading right toward the mirror. And right before it got to the mirror, it went, woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Hey, said Fred, I think the train's time to talk to us. Come on, let's jump on top of the train and see where it's going to take us. Well, you know, they were too big for that train, but somehow they managed to get on top of the train. It was almost like they got smaller or the train got bigger. We're not sure what happened. And the train started going right toward the mirror and right through the mirror. It passed through the mirror into another world. And there they were. They were now inside the full-size train. They were in the caboose, and the tiger was running alongside of them, and they were off in this beautiful, beautiful world. There were beautiful trees, there were birds, there were flowers, and the train was on a special little track. And it was taking them somewhere. They didn't know where they were going. They were going so fast now. They were going across a river. There was a huge bridge there. They went across the river. They went through a forest, and they came around the hill, and right below them was a castle. And they were heading right toward the castle. But around the castle, there was a big moat of water around the castle, and there was no bridge for the train to go across. So the train had to stop. And the tiger jumped out, and they all went and looked at this moat around the castle filled with water. And in the moat were these big, what do you think? Those
Crocodiles.
crocodiles, right? Big crocodiles with big teeth. So they couldn't get in the water and swim across. But just as they were waiting, magically a bridge came down from the castle. And created a pathway so they could go across the castle. Hey, Fran, I think we're supposed to go into the castle. I think they want us. Yeah, I think so. Let's go. But aren't you afraid? No, I'm not afraid, said Fred. Nothing can make me afraid. This is a great opportunity. Let's go into the castle. So they got to across the bridge to the gate. There was a big door in front of the castle, and there was a big knocker on the door. They went, knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. And there was a voice that came out from the door. Who's there? Who is knocking on my door? Well, it's just Fran. It's just Fred. And then the door opened very slowly. The door was open. They went inside, and there was all sorts of music playing, and people were dancing, and there were clowns and dancers, and they were so happy to see him. And they all looked, oh, hi, Fran. Hi, Fred. How did they know her name? I don't know, said Fran. Well, let's go dance with them. And they did. They went do 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 do, and they started dancing and dancing and dancing. And before they knew it, they were so tired of the dancing, they sat down there and they started to fall asleep. And they fell into a deep sleep. And when they woke up, they found themselves in a prison. They were behind bars. They were locked inside this castle in a prison behind bars. Well, guys, I think that's all we're going to do for today. Next Friday, we're going to have another story time here, same time. It starts at 10:30 New York time, and otherwise you can listen to it. You can listen to it any day you want on YouTube channel. This is Amertat. So I'm going to end right now the live part, and let's